if there's something missing in stage A, your stage B can't be strong no matter what. If you are in the thinking stage, bare minimum you should do is get a certification, understand how it works. Price without knowing the value is a cost. Price after knowing the value is an investment. So the thing is, if you are over delivering right now and if you are worrying about the fact that long term kya hoga, long term you will be able to find a solution that's very easy. What's up, guys? Hope you are well. Welcome to another episode of Better Coach, Better Business podcast. And today we have changed the setup a little bit. Reason for that is always improvising, always learning from mistakes because I'm kind of self-recording this. Okay, so before anything, guys, notes for the episode are available on our Instagram page at the rate fitnessbusinessaccelerator.in. And let's get this rolling. So today we'll be understanding different stages of your fitness business, different stages and different action pointers. We just have one mission, whatever stage you are at. If you listen to this clearly, you should have clarity as to what should your next action pointers be, what mistakes you should avoid, and simply move to the next level. You can't start from simple example देता हूँ. If you went to the school, you would have understood that UKG, LKG हमें अलग पढ़ाई कराई जाती है. First to third standard it's different, third to fifth it's different. It slowly builds up, right? Simple example for the same would be, if you don't know the alphabet ABC, you won't know how to make words. If you don't know how to make words, you can't make sentences. If you can't make sentences, you can't write paragraphs. If you can't write paragraphs, you can't write essays, right? So let's understand the stages in depth, what you might be thinking, your psychology, what might be holding you back from getting to the next level, and everything else. Let's start with some principles. First thing which you need to understand is your base has to be strong. So that's why, irrespective of your stage, you should listen to this episode from start till end. Reason for that is, if there's something missing in stage A, your stage B can't be strong no matter what. No matter what your income is right now, no matter what stage you are at, no matter whatever, right? So I'll be discussing the stages. Another, I would talk about a theory which is called mad car fixer theory. मैंने खुद ही अभी नेम बनाया इसका. Mad car fixer theory क्या है? You're someone who has a car, right? Your car's engine is not working correctly, but आप ठीक करवा कुछ और रहे हो. इशू इंजन में है बट आप ठीक एसी करा रहे हो. खराब एसी है, आप ठीक लाइट्स करवा रहे हो, एंड सो ऑन. आप जाके मॉडिफाई करा देते हो. आपका एसी चलना बंद हो गया, आपने कार मॉडिफाई करा लिया, अलॉयज चेंज करा लिया. वुड दैट वर्क? यस, यू माइट वांट अलॉयज, बट फैक्ट ऑफ द मैटर इज एसी खराब है तो एसी ठीक कराओगे, इंजन खराब है तो इंजन, lights खराब है तो lights ठीक कराओगे, right? That is common sense. But that is common sense when it comes to cars. But when it comes to ourselves, our life and our business, we don't think about that. So we'll try to find out what is missing in your car, which will take you forward to your goals, what is missing in your business right now, and at what stages people miss what, right? So it's very important to grow. If you are stuck, if you want to grow, if you are not at the level where you want to get, that's why you're listening to this podcast. You need to ask yourself, where should I put all of my energies, and whether I am putting all of my energies in the right place or not, right? So it's simple. What gets you from 0 to 1 would not get you to 5. What gets you to 5 would not get you to 7. What gets you to 7 would not get you to 10, and so on. So let's understand the stages. And let's understand the pyramid of stages. सबसे pyramid का base is the widest, right? So सबसे wide base है, सबसे ज़्यादा लोग stuck हो जाते हैं in the thinking stage. In simple terms समझाऊँ तो, I'll cover this in detail, but thinking stage is essentially when you are just thinking that, करूँ के ना करूँ, and a lot of people spend months and years here. Today I'll help you with that. Today I'll tell you that, whether you should stay in thinking stage, or you should move to the next level, or you should choose something else, think for something else, right? That's not what. Next is starting. You're just starting out. You had some expectations with what's going to happen, but that's not happening. Next is multiplying. You have a good base. You have constant stream of lot of things. You are at something called the multiplying level. Most coaches get stuck at starting and multiplying level, even at thinking level. That's why it's the base of the pyramid. Last but not the least, scaling. You have reached the multiplying level and you have actually reached the next level. You are moving towards becoming the top 1% coach. Now let's see what's holding you back. Although आपको spoiler दे देता हूँ, in all stages, it's you who's holding you back. In the end, it's always about the business owner. It's always about the entrepreneur. It's never about your niche, never about your clients, never about any other situation in your life, right? So take full ownership for your fitness business or anything in life. Guys, I love the ownership so much that I'm going to get a tattoo of that, because if you don't take full ownership of your business, who will? Who else will? If you keep on blaming it on others, that one simple example blame का बताता हूँ आपको. Competition is increasing. There are these big companies which are, which are on the next level. They can't, I can't get to the next level because there are a lot of companies at the top. You are starting from a scarcity mindset, and this wouldn't help you like at all, right? So understand that scarcity mindset does not work. If you don't believe in yourself that you can level up and you keep on making excuses, you have zero ownership of your goals, zero ownership of your business. This won't help you. Yes, it might sound harsh, but my goal here is to help you, right? Today's goal, as I mentioned, simply it's to move you one stage ahead, right? If you are at thinking, getting you to starting. If you are at starting, getting you to multiplying. If you are at multiplying, getting you to scaling. एक चीज आपको मैं क्लियरली बता देता हूँ, सारी चीजें एक दूसरे पे बिल्डअप करती है. That means listen to this episode starting से ending तक. Don't forward this to multiplying or starting level and stuff like that, because if you haven't fixed everything in the thinking stage, that would haunt you throughout your career. If you haven't fixed everything at the starting stage, that would haunt you throughout your career. If you haven't fixed everything at the multiplier stage, then it would haunt you forever in future in the scaling stage. So listen to everything clearly. Number one, let's start with the thinking stage. ओके, सो इसमें पोजिशनिंग क्या होती है थिंकिंग स्टेज पे? सबसे ज्यादा बड़ी गलती, सबसे ज्यादा लोग क्या सोचते हैं? दिस लुक्स फन एंड इजी. They are looking at other coaches. They're just looking at one side of the story, because they're just looking at coaches posting their wins. FBA case studies देखते हो, खुश हो जाते हो, wow, all they did was posted. And no, it's not that, right? It's not fun and easy. Yes, a lot of part is fun, but it requires a lot of work also. Keep that in mind, right? So don't think that it's all sunshine and rainbows. There are dark days also, although on Instagram it's more like a highlight. Although one thing which I have promised myself is I'll try to post other side of the business also, where coaches are goofing up. Today also I'll be covering a lot of stuff. Next thinking is positioning. आपके आप मन में ये सोच रहे हो, यार, it looks like a money making machine. Coaches making 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, and even close to 7 figures just by sitting at home. Yes. Next positioning का question आता है आपके मन में, यार, should I even do it or not? So basically आप thinking stage पे हो, आपने, it looks fun and easy, but deep inside you understand that there might be some nuances. Next thing you might be thinking in the thinking stage is, I don't even know the steps. How do I start? Right? A lot of people just pursue a certification and think that, wow, everything would happen. They mention on their Instagram certified coach and nothing happens. Right? Lot of people who are in the thinking stage actually do this. They start experimenting. They indirectly make a post. I did that when I started out. That actually helped me. I started making posts 2 years before I actually started that, when I thought about starting. I actually spent 2 years in the thinking stage. That's one place where I feel that I could have taken action earlier. But anyway, what is in the past is in the past. I started posting that, I'll be helping people for free, right? I got some responsibility because that's back in the day. That's 2015 and 16, right? So if you are starting out at thinking stage and just moving one step ahead, that's fine, as long as you are constantly moving. If you are not constantly moving, there's some issue, because you did not put in work in the right direction. Because back in the day versus now, the biggest difference is there are hundreds of good coaches. When I started out, there weren't hundreds of good coaches, right? Next is, can I even do it? Where to start, right? I'll give you action pointers as to what you should exactly do to start, but this is something which you might be thinking. Last but not the least, thinking stage में लोगों की question आता है, would anyone even take my service? There are so many great coaches with so many transformations, and all of these questions are legit questions, and that's all. So here should be your action pointers, and here should be your mission. यहाँ पे आपको एक्शन पॉइंट्स भी बता रहा हूँ, और मिशन इज बेसिकली जो आपने एग्जैक्टली जिस चीज पे आपने सबसे ज्यादा फोकस करना है. Number one, take action and try and learn more. If you are in the thinking stage, bare minimum you should do is get a certification, understand how it works, right? A lot of times team FBA members, when they join team FBA, they are actually essentially somewhere in middle of the thinking and starting stage, because they have pursued a certification, but they don't know how to provide a, they don't know how to coach. There are a lot of people like that certification kar liya, but they don't know how to coach. If you are one of them, and if you join team FBA, we would start you with something called the Excel Nutrition Uni Level 1, because that's exactly, obviously it's a certification. We don't market it for others because this is an exclusive for now. So this has literally all plug and play templates for all team FBA members. Reason for that is, if you are not a great coach from day one, that is an issue. And most of the team FBA members who come across FBAs through trained by YBS, right? They kind of look up to us because of the kind of coaching we provide, the kind of results we have. So from day one itself, we make sure that that part is sorted with a lot of plug and play templates with science and exact method I use for coaching, right? So that is what. So number one mission is learning more. Start with any certification. अब मैं ये नहीं बोलूँगा कोई किसी certification से learn नहीं करता. You learn from every certification. But if you have pursued a certification but you don't know how to coach, you're like, how do I apply this knowledge? Then you need to do something else. Just keep that in mind. But if you understand how to coach, how to apply the knowledge, think that level 1 is sorted. Another thing which you should do is help yourself and your friends. If you are a coach who hasn't gone through a transformation yet, you should, even if you look fit, even if you are fit, because once you go through the transformation, you understand how the process works. Because if you don't understand the process, how the process works, that can cause a lot of issues, right? So going through your own transformation, we make a lot of our team FBA members go through their own transformation on their own. Obviously, we don't coach them because obviously our main niche is doing this. So going through the own transformation, number one, you are able to create great content because you understand what kind of content is needed. That's the first thing. Next is you understand the process, you understand the client journey, ups and downs, right? Next is very important. You need to understand and find your why. If you don't like helping people, if you don't like changing lives, आप ये podcast भी अभी बंद कर दो. सीधी सी बात बता रहा हूँ मैं, it won't help you. Lot of times when someone wants to join Team FBA, we go through a full-fledged process. There are calls which happen, and a lot of times we don't even take up members for Team FBA, even if they are ready to pay. Primary reason for that is there is an inherent issue. They don't like coaching. They just want to earn money. If you want to just earn money, we are not the right people to take guidance from. This podcast is not the right podcast for you. And that's what. Find your why. I'll talk about why that is important in a second. Next is invest in self, right? Whatever job you're doing in your life or whatever you're doing in life, ask yourself, how did I reach there? You may be invested in yourself. You invested time and even money in yourself. Start doing that, because one of the biggest reasons you should invest in yourself is not even because of the knowledge or the strategies or things you learn. It's because when you spend money on something, you tell yourself and your brain that I'm fucking serious about it, right? Because we have spent months and years of our life making fake promises to ourselves. But when you pay, you make a financial investment, you tell yourself that, I am serious for this. So that is what. Question to ask yourself, do I actually like changing lives? Or I think that, online coaching is easy. I like going to the gym and stuff like that. ये चीज़ पे आपको बहुत ज़्यादा क्लैरिटी होनी चाहिए. ये मत करना कि FBA के स्टडीज आपने देख ली and you are like, okay, wow, that's great, right? The case studies are a part, but everyone has put in the work. They have put in their heart and soul. They trusted themselves. They invested in themselves. They invested in FBA also, right? Which is not a small investment. Right? So a lot of times whenever you're investing in yourself, you're actually strengthening your belief system, your self-image and stuff like that. But if you're looking for if you're just looking for shortcuts, then it is an issue. Mission. Now, what should your mission be when it comes to the stage? Your number one mission should be the understanding that grass is greener on the other side. What do I mean to say? Whatever life you are leading, you are And whenever you're taking any decision, we often just think about one side. We just think about the good, right? That's a good thing. That would actually motivate you to work and all that stuff. But understand that you'll have to put in the work. If you don't put in the work, nothing would work, right? I'll tell you very clearly, FBA won't work like at all. You would get zero results because if you don't execute. And same goes for everything. If you have gone through a transformation yourself, you in a way know that if I don't put in the work, how would it work? And this is where it gets funny for a lot of coaches, because coaches understand why their clients are not getting results because they are not putting in the work. But they're not able to ask themselves that question, that, why isn't my business growing? Because maybe the answer is you are not putting in the work. Next is understand your why. Why do you want to do it? If it's just related to money, there's a big issue, because there would be ups and downs, there would be bad days, there would be slow weeks. Especially if you are starting out, first few weeks we don't get a lot of response, because in a way we are just building trust amongst our audience, right? So there's this, I'll share case of Amit. Although in the last 4 to 6 weeks he has made 7-8 lakh rupees, 6 to 7 lakh rupees, but when he started out, for first 8 weeks he got zero clients, but he had trust in us, trust in process. I told him just push. Now he is making at least 2 to 2.5 times of what he is making at his job, plus while keeping his job, right? Although Amit was an extreme example, I would say. Most team FBA coaches start getting clients even if they are in a beginning stage and they are actually hustling. They start getting clients in within first. I would give you a range actually within first 2 to 6 weeks. 6 weeks is the number where you don't have a profile. People don't know you for your fitness as of now. But 6 weeks, once you start getting clients, everything changes, right? So next is have a plan and strategy. If opportunity cost is high, if opportunity cost of your mission is high, have a plan and strategy. What is opportunity cost? Opportunity cost is that, I could be doing something else, that might be getting me something. For example, especially if you are in a job right now, you're doing a job but you're not satisfied with that kind of life, you're not satisfied with the income, so your opportunity cost in a way is the job, right? I'm that kind of coach. I don't like my clients working under pressure, so I would make you hold on to your job as long as possible, right? Also, in 99% of the cases, I don't even recommend leaving the job. That's why, teammates like Amit, who are making 2 to 2.5 times of their job, are still hanging in, right? You can check out the case studies. Back to this. Also, last but not the least, if you are in the thinking stage and if you want to move to the starting stage, do one thing. Set a deadline. There's something called Parkinson's law. It's like time. The work expands in the time given to it. In simple terms, if you give yourself 3 days to clean your house, it's gonna take 3 days. If you give yourself 30 days to clean your house, it's gonna take 30 days. So it depends on the time. The day you set deadlines, it changes the game. For Team FBA members, I like setting deadlines. I like telling them that, dude, you're not putting in the work. Because if there's no deadline, then you have your rest of your life left, right? Because maybe sooner or later you might just have regret like me, that I could have started sooner. So that is what time is passing by. And stop settling for, see, if you are even in the thinking stage, you are settling right now. That means you deserve better, you can get better, but you are not able to put in the work because of the reason. So set a deadline. If after listening to this you decide that, okay, this is what I want to do in my life, do this. I'll give you some examples of some of our teammates, especially the ones जिनकी case study नहीं करी है. We have recently started working with Dipanshu. 2 weeks in, was in thinking stage since a while. Great guy, great potential, great will to put in the work. 2 weeks in, he has made almost $50,000. 14 days of him starting his business. I'll also give example of our client Arpit. He already has a running business, full-fledged business, but he was kind of not able to enjoy his life completely, and he needed a passive income source. So there was this call last week, and he literally messaged us from, I think he was in Finland. He joined the call. I was like, do you have any questions, my man? He was like, I don't have any questions, but I just want to tell you that I want to thank you that I am able to enjoy these luxuries in my life, these trips because of FBA, because I have got an opportunity to number one change lives. And the thing with his case is that he's not all in, right? He has his full business and all that stuff, but still he's changing lives. Still he's getting that passive income, and he's able to enjoy new luxuries. I'll I have like 6 7 examples in front of me. Think about Nikita's case. Nikita, I had coached her in the past, and she wanted to join Team YBS. I told her, dude, you have a lot of potential. Start your own thing. And within first 4 weeks of starting, she made almost 2 lakh rupees, which is good. Another example is Abed. Again, case study not posted, but literally 2 weeks in, he has almost made 6 figures. Last I checked, it was 97,000 bucks in 2 weeks. First 2 weeks of starting. So that's what. But again, quite just being honest. At times things are a little slower. Also, obviously, when we are sharing, we would share the best examples, right? But I already shared Amit's case, and I've seen a lot of cases like that. That first few weeks, first 2 to 6 weeks are slow, and then it picks up because it's common sense. A lot of times we lose common sense also. If you are just starting out, if you don't have any content, if you don't know your messaging, if you don't have any case studies, if you don't have your transformation, why would people want to pay you, right? So that's what. Just ask yourself that you're listening to. Would you ever listen to this podcast if we didn't have any content, didn't have any case studies, didn't have trained by YBS? The answer is no, right? Now let's move to the next level. That is the starting stage, right? In this stage, most people actually have a certification. Most of them have updated their Instagram bio where they mention DM me the word transform because they saw other Team FBA members do it. Then after a while they realize that why aren't people taking my service? Next, another thing which they realize is I have got a few clients, but why aren't they getting results? Next is a very interesting one which happened with me also, that response from my friends and family is not like I expected, because earlier a lot of friends and family used to contact me for free, but now I have started my thing. They're not even supporting me. They're not even posting on their Instagram. This happened with me also. Another thing which comes to mind in the starting stage is I think I made the wrong choice, because now you are thinking about what you have lost, the opportunity cost in the thinking stage. But this is nothing to worry about. First of all, this is normal. I'll give you action pointers and I'll give you mission, and that will change the life, change your life. Next is why aren't lead converting? I'm not even sure whether this is the right decision or not. This would always happen in the starting stage because you did not think about the other aspect, which is totally normal because you haven't gone through the process. But here am I telling you these things. Next is the action pointers. First thing which you should ideally do is understand your niche and ideal client avatar. How would you understand your niche, especially when you haven't started with anything? Just look at, just ask yourself, who can you understand the most? The answer would be yourself. So look into the mirror and ask yourself, can I be my own niche? The answer should be yes, especially if you have already transformed, especially if you have gone through a lot of stuff when it comes to your own transformation. And that's what. Next thing which you need to do is build a legendary service, because again, certification and knowledge is great, but knowledge, if it is not applied, is equal to not knowing. Next is create content that directly speaks to your ideal client avatar. How do you understand your ideal client avatar? Write down, right? Imagine a fictitious person, Mr. X, who is your ideal client. Ask yourself, what problems does that person deal with deeply? We do this IC activity. That's step one for everyone who joins FBA, because if they don't have clarity on that, that becomes an issue. Think about a fictitious person. Write down his pain points. What is keeping him or her up at night? What kind of problems they face? Confidence, physical and psychological. What kind of problems they are facing? Energy levels, hormones deficiency, stuff like that, depending upon how much knowledge you have. Obviously, if you don't understand hormones right now, don't get into that, but understand other aspects and slowly and steadily keep on learning. That's what we do at Excel Nutrition Uni Level 2. Literally every month we sort out one access for a detailed lecture on such deep topics, such as I'll be recording psychology this month. Last month I recorded sleep in detail. Then I recorded stress and female physiology, all of them in detail with plug and play templates so that you can start helping your clients right away. Right. So that is what apna ideal client avatar samjho. Write this down. Don't think of it. Write this down, because if you have clarity on the pain points and what's keeping them up at night, what struggles they face, what kind of lifestyle they have, you'll change the game. Next is understand how you acquire clients. I'll give you my secret. It's not a secret, right? See, what you do is you provide a lot of value for free. Today you might be surprised that भाई इतनी सारी चीजें इस podcast में कैसे बता दी. This is my goal. My goal is to provide you with so much of value that you realize that this person's free stuff has so much of value. What would happen if I pay this person? This is a simple equation, and that's what you need to do. Give before you take, and you'll change the game. Right? So understand client acquisition, how that happens, how interest is generated in the service. Interest is essentially generated in the service by giving the clients and prospects what they want. A lot of times coaches think what they just give them what they need. Yes, we have to give them what they need via coaching, but they themselves don't know what they want, what they need, right? So what they need should essentially be coaching. What they want should be the content. Solve their problems, quick problems which they already know. Make them problem aware, and over time you nurture them, and that's how you would generate interest in your services. Apart from that, obviously, case studies is one option. But most importantly, your prospect should be knowing and understanding that you can help them. How can you know? How can you do that? In your content, in your messaging, they should be seeing that you can understand them. You can understand them more than they understand themselves. Make them problem aware. How would that help? How would that happen? Ideal client avatar activity. Next is building trust, authority, and confidence, and learning how to talk. Learning how to talk to your prospects. A lot of times coaches are good at content, but they don't know how to fucking talk, right? They don't know the conversation flow. They don't know what to say in the DMs. They don't know how to get them on a call, what to say on the call, when to disclose the pricing. For pricing, I'll give you a cue here. Price without knowing the value is a cost. Price after knowing the value is an investment. You need to make sure that when someone gets into your DMs, you are multiplying your authority in a way that they look at everything as an investment. So there's a specific flow which we like using, and that's what learning the conversion flow. We have used a lot of psychology. I literally updated it last week, and if you're an FBA member and you have access to the library right now, check out the new flow. That would blow your mind. It's called conversion psychology. It's just, we are just understanding psychology, what the client is thinking, what you are thinking, and finding a middle ground and helping them while getting them to a conclusion that you are the best solution to their problem. And do these two things and people would start converting. Next is giving your heart and soul to your clients. That means delivering a service which changes their life. One thing before anything, I would say that जितने भी मैंने आज तक कोचेस से बात करी, 90% of them have actually come to the preconceived notion कि भाई my service is very good. Other 10% who have joined TeamFBA, who know that their service can be improved, are on the next level. I'll share some examples in a bit, but that's all. So if you think your service is amazing, but your clients are not getting results, आप थोड़े गलतफहमी में हो. So just reverse. Why are clients paying you for results? Are they getting them constantly? Is the success rate higher than 80%? Well and good. If it is lower, then your service sucks. It's not, I wouldn't say it sucks, but it can get better, right? So your mission in the starting stage should be essentially number one, working on confidence. Work on your confidence levels, because you have to be comfortable on camera, because people buy people, not services. You need to connect with people, right? And this is coming from a person who was world's shyest person, according to me. Abhi bhi main batata hu, I'm this level of introvert that if I have to go out for a wedding or if guests are coming over, मुझे tension होनी start हो जाती है, right? But the thing is that if confidence is an issue, start working on it. Also, at this stage, having coaches, when you are new to content, and having coaches who can audit the content for you and tell you that okay, this can be improved, this is good, this is already good, because a lot of times you would actually have imposter syndrome. That means content is good, everything is good, but deep inside you feel that it is not good enough. Right, it's good enough for executing right now, but yes, there's always scope for improvement, so keep that in mind. Next is working on learning how to hear no. What do I mean to say? You need to learn how to hear no. That means when you, in the beginning, when you get on conversion calls and stuff like that, you will have to hear no at times, right? Beginning also, ending also. For example, if any of you books a strategy call with us, right? I like having this bandwidth where we have the capability to say no to you if we can't help you. On the other spectrum, you have the capability to say no. If you don't see the value, then you can say no, right? We can't force you, right? So it's like hearing no is something which you have to get comfortable with right away, and that would change the game. Because in the end, if you don't see value in the service, well and good, good for you. If I don't think I can help you, well and good, I'll tell you, right? So no becomes a very important thing, and for a lot of people who are just starting out, haven't heard a no in their life, right? This is like wrong expectation from life according to me, and that's what. Next is getting your first 5 to 10 clients. A lot of times beginner coaches are like, my business model is not scalable. I pause for a second and I'm like, why are you worrying about scalability? At least get your first 5 to 10 clients, or at least get 15-20 clients. Then we move you to something called the leverage coaching model, right? And that is what. Next is learning how to provide a great service which gets results. Next is learning how to over deliver. Very important. Learning how to over deliver. If you learn that in the beginning itself, you'll change the game. A lot of times, I've worked with a lot of international coaches, and international coaches का बहुत बार क्या रहा है कि they remain to the point. This is what they have promised. This is what the client gets. Not an extra single day, not an extra single thing. And a lot of times it's even much lower, right? I personally believe that's wrong. We have to essentially get out of the way to help our clients. If you learn that from day one, you'll change the game. Because in the later stages, we'll discuss in a bit, especially when we talk about scaling stage, we'll be building a team. And understand who's setting up the culture. You are setting up the culture. If you over deliver, my team always sees me over delivering. Now there might be someone listening here and thinking that oh my god, I wasn't over delivered to. In the end, it's like everyone has a different expectation of over delivery according to me. But it's like, my definition is just getting out of the way. I'll give you an example which would help you here. This is essentially, when I started out, first few clients, I literally went out with them for grocery shopping. I used to go, and at that time I was charging, I think, 6 to 8,000 rupees. First few clients, 4 to 8,000 rupees, depending upon the package and stuff like that. First few months, literally, if they used to call me at 3 a.m. at night, I used to pick up. My phone used to be loud for the first 2 years. I'm not asking you to do that, but I'm just giving you an example, just a perspective, because I was too extreme, which is not a good thing. I don't. Yes, you have to over deliver, but there should be some boundaries. But I'm just giving you some perspective as to how can this be done. One simple example of over delivery can be giving your teammates extra week, right? Whenever we have TeamFBA members who are doing great work, we give them extra weeks. If there's something off in their life, something off happens in their life, we give them extra weeks, right? Also, I like keeping my message box open for all of my clients. That means even if their coaching period has ended, even if they have decided to move their business forward on their own, they can still message me. And I try my best to reply. I wouldn't say that I'm able to reply in depth all the time, but I try my best, right? Because again, the thing is, me talking about these things, we work with a lot of people, right? At times it becomes an issue, but I somehow have this issue anyway, that I have to make sure that every message in my inbox is replied to, especially WhatsApp and stuff like that, right? So learn how to over deliver. I'll talk about another thing in relation to over delivery. When I started out, I was literally at $8,000. I was literally going out for grocery shopping and stuff like that. Over 6 years, we reached a level where last I was coaching, not life coaching I'm still doing, but life coaching is much higher ticket. Last I was coaching for Team 5 Platinum package, almost charging 1.8 lakh rupees for 3 months, and I wasn't even getting on a single call because we had moved to such a leverage coaching model. Yes, I used to get on calls when clients used to get stuck or stuff like that, but I wasn't even getting on calls, and clients were happy. Success rate was very high. Why? Because number one, that's the proposition we proposed, and we had reached a level that we don't need to get on calls specifically when clients are happy. Yes, obviously, again, the part of the over delivery in that was maybe one, extending weeks. Second, getting on call if client is super stuck. Client is super stuck, and I'm not able to explain over voice notes and stuff like that. I used to get on a call, but that wasn't promised. So the thing is, if you are over delivering right now, and if you're worrying about the fact that long term kya hoga, long term you will be able to find a solution that's very easy, very optimal. One example can be moving from weekly calls to bi-weekly calls and check-in reviews over voice notes. Now, if you don't know check-in reviews वगैरह क्या होता है, then that means you need to work on the service, because it's not just about delivering the plan. It's more about plan being followed. Also, over the years, one thing which happened in my case was my communication became so effective that calls weren't required, right? But again, part of over delivery, but I wasn't promising them at that ticket price also, right? At times we do. At times I like gauging that how much the market is ready to pay. So at times we have platinum slots available at three times the price of what I just mentioned, right? And because we are comfortable hearing no, right? There are other packages and stuff like that also, because anyway, one part of me not coaching anymore is me coaching the team so that they are able to coach and provide a legendary service the way I do, right? Back to this. Next is learning how to over deliver, understanding targeted content, right? Understand your messaging, and then ask yourself, post with intent. Ask yourself what kind of emotion I want to elicit in my prospect's mind. If you don't know, if you don't understand, why would someone watch your content, right? If you don't understand that why people watch content, why are you listening to this? Because you're getting something from this. How do your prospects get to know whether they are going to get something from your content or not? Better hooks, better covers, and stuff like that are some examples for that. Next is get postable results. In the beginning, the biggest bottleneck for you would be not having postable results. But again, if you're sorted out the service, if you're over delivering, you'll start getting results. Because in the beginning, even if you understand content and everything else is on point, but you don't have case studies, that's an issue. Because in the end, case studies, live sessions with your clients, their testimonials, video testimonials, all these things are very important, because every coach says I can change your life, but very few coaches can show that. That's why we specifically work on service before anything else. I'll give you some examples of the starting stage. Number one is Guneet, 20 years old, started his business with us. Last we checked, he was at 3.5 lakh rupees per month, still 20 years old. So that was good. Another was Ayush. I know Ayush since 2018. I coached him. Great guy. And he started from zero with FBA. And by the time, within first 12 weeks, he was able to reach an income of 4 lakh rupees per month. And last I had a conversation with him, everything was in the same flow. And another case was Mrinali. When we started out with Mrinali was she was at a good post when it came to her career. She was in HR, leading it, good income, but she was like, dude, I don't want to do this anymore, because number one, the growth is limited. Second, a lot of time goes into that. And Mrinali, we were able to start and scale her business to a good level. And still, we are still working on it, because some things have to be fixed. And once they are fixed, we'll get her to the next level, get her to the scale level. Actually, she's at the multiplier level now. Also, in Mrinali's case, one thing which happened was right now what we are working on is we are actually working on deepening something in the starter part only, right? Although she's at multiplier stage. So that's why I specifically mentioned that, think everything in thinking stage, especially your why should be sorted. Everything in starting stage should be sorted, and so on. But another thing which we did, so one phase with Mrinali was essentially making more money by making her coaching process more leveraged, right? So she was spending a lot of inefficient time on coaching. We specifically worked on that for one phase, and that led to a lot of freedom. And now I think May would be her biggest month ever. That's what I've strategized so far. And anyway, back to this. Next is multiplier stage. Now, a lot of you might have noticed that when you started out, you must have thought that, I'm already at multiplier stage, but now you might be having a lot of clarity on what's missing in your thinking and the starting stage, right? So thank you for that. I mean, assuming that you're saying thank you, and I'll say welcome for that. Next is positioning. Let's understand the positioning at multi-bank stage. Positioning is, you know how to get clients now, but everything is not stable. You know when you put in the work, you get some clients, but it's like nothing is consistent. Clients also get results, but there are no system set up around that. You know everything can get better, but you have these periods of inconsistency. Good months happen, but you don't understand how, because you don't know the business numbers. You A lot of times you feel that you are not able to charge your worth. A lot of times you think that you are competing with others. Guys, fact of the matter is we have 238 crore people in the country. Competition in a way does not exist, especially when you have a strong why and you have carved out your own niche. There's no competition. And if you understand, obviously, how to provide a legendary service to your clients and stuff like that. Next is one thing which happened is this happened last year actually, happened with us also. Earlier, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, these 4 5 years, it was, if I wanted more clients, all I used to do was post a great results, a great transformation, and I used to get clients. That still happens because obviously that's related to human nature. But the amount of leads we get from crazy transformations have gone down. And the reason for that is, if you're someone who's wondering why is that happening, reason is two reasons actually. Number one is that connection is missing. For most coaches at multiplier level, connection is missing. They're just posting stuff in relation to the service, in relation to knowledge and stuff like that, but they are not understanding one simple thing. People don't invest in services, people invest in people. And right now what has happened is there are a lot of great coaches in the market who have great results. So yes, results matter a lot, but results are not the only thing which matter now. Earlier it used to happen, but now it's like results are just a part of the picture, an important part, but it's not the whole picture, right? So keep that in mind. And next is bad months. So next is bad months make you rethink everything. 2 3 months are there when maybe there's inconsistency, maybe there's something slow around. Example would be October, November, December. Things are slow and you start rethinking everything. Your mental health goes for a toss. I'll discuss that in a bit, and everything else. And at that time comes in something called the shiny object syndrome. You think that, okay, I have reached the saturation level when it comes to my coaching. I'm making a few thousands or even a few lakhs, multiple six figures. I need to do something else to get to the next level. That is wrong. Because I'll talk about the action pointers and then you'll understand that. Because, for example, 70 80% of the coaches at this level think that. And 70% 80% of the coaches start something else. Maybe another package which is cheaper, calling it student package. Biggest mistake on the planet. Next, a lot of times what they do is they start a coach. Sorry. A lot of times what they do is they start something like a course. Now, fact of the matter is there are hundreds of courses, right? You might sell a few courses, but you are spending a lot of time and you're not getting enough back. Then you are overworked. You get overworked because there was coaching, now there's a course. In the end, when you're totaling the numbers, they are kind of similar as compared to earlier, right? And that is where the issue happens. So that's why I understand shiny object syndrome. Grass is always greener on the other side. Focus on the right pointers. Focus on what I'm going to tell you in a second, and that would change the game for you. So these should be your focus pointers when it comes to the multiplier stage. Number one, dial everything that is there in the starter and the thinking stage. First example would be understand your ICA and understand deep messaging. If you don't understand deep messaging of your ICA, ideal client avatar, then it is an issue because you would just end up as a generalist, and there's a lot of competition for generalists. For specialists, there's no competition whatsoever. Next is tracking of numbers. Track all numbers: number of leads, number of conversions, number of clients, number of renewals, number of referrals. On basis of that, you'll have a lot of data to work around, and whatever you think is missing, you start working on that. Number of transformations, also track that. Next is systemizing all pillars of a fitness business. If you don't understand the fitness business pillars, check out the first episode of Better Coach, Better Business, and everything is explained in detail there. Next is mindset and visioning stuff. Mindset is important at all stages, but at this stage, you need laser sharp focus. You need to envision stuff. You need to envision a future. You need a plan. You need a strategy, because if these things are not there, you would you would reach you would maybe slowly grow, but you won't reach your potential, and that would create a lot of dissonance. Next is focus on increasing your prices. Now, if your IC is not sorted, if your content is not deep, if you're not getting results, then increasing your prices might be an issue. But have a conversion process. Convert convert try to convert people at higher prices, and that can definitely be done. And a lot of times, depending upon the client, you would want to charge. At FBA, we use something called the revolving pricing theory. Depending upon the scope of work and the client, we charge. And that's what at multiply stage, that's fine. But at scaling stage, when you want to onboard a lot of clients, 30, 40, 50, 60 clients per month, then that wouldn't work, right? For trained by IVS, we can't use this revolving pricing theory. Okay, so for trained by IVS or even for FBA, we can't use the revolving pricing theory. So that is what. Next is content with intent. Whatever you post, you need to know why you are posting it, what kind of response you want to elicit. So for that, you need to obviously understand some human psychology, and you need to also analyze what worked in the past, what didn't, and why did that work. Once you understand the why, that would change the game. For that, understand different types of content pieces. Value, where you are providing value. Social proof, where you are showing what you can do. And third, the most important one and the most missing one, especially at this stage, is connection. Creating connection and showing that you are a human. People invest in people, not in services. Keep that in mind. Next is move to effective coaching. Now, yes, you have been over delivering. You still have to over deliver, but now you have to over deliver in a way that's efficient, right? Don't waste a lot of inefficient time, because in the end, you are wasting your client's time and your time also, and that's taking away time which can be given to you for growing your business, right? So think about that. Also, you need to create a system for tracking client results, and you need to master influence. One thing which you should focus on right now is becoming a top 5% coach. Ask yourself, am I amongst the top 5% when it comes to knowledge? See, knowledge is an integral part, and it should always be improving. I'm still pursuing a few certifications, right? A lot of times, although the niche of certifications has changed, a lot of times it's psychology, but all of this translates to business and even coaching clients, right? So that is what. Next is understand stability and law of averages. Law of averages, you need, at this stage, you essentially don't need just growth. You need growth, stabilization, and you need to understand law of averages if there's a slow week, because once you start tracking, there you would notice there are slow weeks and even slow months. But understand that in the end, you always fall down to your standard. That means your average, right? So month one might be much higher, month two might be a little lower, but in the end, your actual level of your business is in the averages. So understand law of averages. And one thing which all of you guys should start doing at this level is start living a life. Start working on other aspects of life also. Start valuing relationships also, because a lot of times in starting and thinking stage, what happens is we just have one focus, our fitness business. But at multiplier stage specifically, start spending some time with your loved ones. Start living a life. It's not just about earning money. Start living and enjoying life. Start enjoying some freedom. Ask yourself why the freedom is restricted. A lot of times the answer would be in your coaching process. Work on that, and that would change the game. Freedom is everything. Okay, so if I tell you how much time I give to trained by IVS operations right now, and I'm totally involved in everything, you'll be surprised. Maximum, if it's a very good week and month for us, 3 hours per week. But it happens in a way that we have built this over years, right? It happens in a way that all clients are happy, all clients are getting results, and if any client is not happy, we get this sorted as soon as possible, right? So I'm in touch with my team throughout. If my team gets stuck, I reply within minutes, within seconds, right? So that I have more free time for other things, focusing on maybe FBA. Right now, talking about FBA, I'm involved into all aspects of coaching, because right now we are still leveling everything up. right? Maybe after a few years, few months, few years, I won't be involved that much in operations. I would just look over and make sure and just focus on problem solving, right? So that is what. So do not forget living a life. Ask yourself, do I have freedom right now? If you don't, start reverse engineering or take help from someone who can help you with this, right? Freedom. You also need freedom of mind. What do I mean to say? Start working on your mental health, because our brain is wired for negativity. We end up thinking about negative stuff. There's a good month, there's a great month, you hit your best month, but still you are not feeling 100%. Still you are feeling like shit. Reason for that is you are asking yourself, would I be able to sustain that? So multiply stage में सबसे ज़्यादा coaches में ये issue आता है, and I always tell them that I am not appreciating you. All I'm asking you to do is look into the past, look into what you have achieved, look into your check-in sheets, and look at this. What have you built? And all of this is built over hard work, not over tactics. You have built principles, and that helps coaches a lot, because in multiply stage you would be, see, at starter stage you have to be harsh with yourselves. You have to like literally hustle, but at multiply stage you need to learn how to take a step back and be nicer to yourself, because now you have undeniable proof of who you are and what you have done in the past, right? I don't believe in these voodoo affirmations. Oh my god, this manifestation shit that I earn 1 crore rupees. In actuality you don't, right? I believe in looking into the past and asking myself, what have I done in the past? What have my clients done in the past? Because that's the undeniable proof. So definitely work on that. Now your mission at this level should be building systems and standard operating procedures, from your coaching to your content to everything else. Next is getting steady stream of clients, working on that. So basically getting super consistent with content and stuff like that. Getting steady stream of results. So first was getting steady stream of clients. Next is getting steady stream of results and steady method to show that to the world. That's how you'll build authority. Tracking all metrics and numbers. Set goals and reverse engineer them. How do you reverse engineer stuff? For example, you are at 3 to 5 lakh rupees. Now you want to get this to 10. You wouldn't say, okay, I want to get this to 10 and do nothing. Now you need to reverse engineer. How many clients do I need? How many content pieces do I need? How many offers do I need to make? Right? Look at current numbers. If you're tracking those numbers, then doing this would be much easier. Keep in mind, simple scales, complex fails. A lot of times at this level, we think that we need to do a lot of complex stuff. Yes, there are some complexities, but the complexities are mostly in execution. Execution and complexities just in the mind, complexity in thinking, simplicity in execution, right? Understand that and keep in mind simple scales, complex fails. Next is start fixing your life. You want to sustain and stay at this level, start working on your mental health, start fixing your life. You need to sit back and ask yourself at this level, multiplier level, that what fucked up things am I doing in the life? Where is my nutrition? Where are my relationships? Where is my sleep? Where are my intoxication habits? Right? All of these things, ask yourself. If you have any okay, this is a deep word. So if you have any unresolved issues or unresolved trauma, work on that, because that would change the game. And talking about some examples who are at the multiplying stage. One of my favorite clients, one of the first clients at FBA, Dhruv, he was at a good level. He was making almost 6 figures. Then we just systemized everything for him, tracking, conversion, and everything else, and he was able to scale to 7 lakh rupees per month in a short time, 6 to 7 lakh rupees. And last discussion I have with him, he was very close to 7 figures, and that's all. But again, we created action pointers. In his case, one thing which we did was, we had phases where we weren't able to post content because he was providing a quality service to the clients. Now we have recently created a strategy for him and a lot of Team FB members, in which you can create content for 30 days, whole month, in just one day. The same strategy I used to create content. If you go to Trained by YBS Reels from the past 3 months, you'll notice 3 months you'll notice that I'm wearing the same clothes, because everything was recorded in just one day, in 3 hours. There's a strategy which we use, and it works like crazy. And it has, I've added a lot of nuances to make sure that the strategy works. And that's what we use at this level. Next is Lalita. We have just started working with her. good base, good income. Now we have started tracking everything and holding her accountable for everything. And now we'll start making offers and get her to the next level. One thing in her case, which I noticed, was that connection was missing. She's a great coach. She was getting great results, but there was no connection. We are working on that, getting out of our comfort zone, sharing our life also, and creating connection via sharing who we actually are. A lot of these coaches are great, legendary people, right? All the examples I've given, and that's what I have. Another example here, example of Anmol. When we started out with Anmol, he had left his job in a fitness coaching company only. He was making some money, but he wanted to multiply it. And in a very short time, we were able to multiply his business by 4x. And now goal is to get him to 5 lakh rupees per month. And we are working on that. I think May would be the month for him, because I recently strategized everything for him. And April looks good so far for him. And I like staying in loop with my clients, because, I am personally that coach that if my clients are putting in the work in right direction consistently and they are not getting results, I start losing sleep over that. A lot of times, see, if you are a client who's just starting out, I'll just specifically tell you that this is why we are not getting results right now. But again, I like having a very honest approach with myself also, because a lot of times during the processes, I feel that okay, this is something I can improve in my system of coaching, and that's what we did. We literally created 5 trainings for lead generation to make sure that the whole year for our team FBA members is sorted and they're seeing growth every quarter. Next is scaling status. A lot of you might have realized that you guys are at multiplier or starting stage, and a lot of things in the starting stage are not fixed already. Guys, see, now while listening to this, you might want to make yourself feel good about the whole situation, and you might think that you are at scaling. You probably are not at scaling stage. So that is what, just fix everything, then you are probably at scaling stage. And what is your thought process like at scaling stage? Number one, you deserve more. Your question is, how do I maximize this? Next question is, do I need a team? How to hire them? What should they do? I have money but no life, because I'm like overworked, everything is good, numbers are good, but I don't have any life right now. What will the team do? If I hire a team, what will the team do? Do I need to do everything on my own? I love doing this. I love being a coach. This is my passion. I used to love coaching clients. Now I am secretly hating my clients. I'm secretly hating my life. I'm making a lot of money, multiple 6 figures. I know I would get to close to 7 figures and even 7 figures. But I have started hating the process. I'm getting bored. I don't like it. Guys, it's time for you to go wide, not deep. What do I mean to say? Now it's time to build a team. Another question which happens here is in scaling, literally one thing which happens is, do I need automations? Do I need ads? The answer might be yes for most of these, but let's understand all of these things. Number one action pointer is delegate if you cannot automate. First is systems are as reliable as people aren't. See, if you can automate it first, right? Then if you can delegate it, then delegate it, right? Because if you can automate it using a system, using a software or something like that, that's always more reliable than people. And that's a fact. That's more reliable than you or me also, right? Next thing which you should do is diversify lead generation sources, move to owned media, right? Owned media is the media which you own on your own, and set cadence for them. Because in the end, in simple terms, we are just doing what we were doing on a social media, but now in the owned media, while doing everything what we are doing in the social media to multiply our income, to simply double our business. Get better at making offers, create a marketing calendar. So scale, most people at scale are like our mastermind members. We are not taking up any clients in this right now. We might in the next few months, but the goal should be create a marketing calendar, increase lifetime value of each client. How do you do that? By keeping clients for longer. How do you strategize that? We specifically work on that, because one simple way to double your business from here is just make sure all of your clients stay with you for double the time. How can you strategize that, right? Although using the strategies which we use, we are not able to exactly double it, but we are simply able to 1.5x it. For example, if you were at 2, you'll be able to get to 3 very easily. Next is making your coaching process leveraged. You need to make your coaching model leveraged, and that's very important. Next is work on building authority. Now you need to build authority outside social media also. That might for some people require PR and stuff like that. I do recommend that to a lot of our members who are at the scaling level, but it should be done at the right time in a right way. Next is become the top 1%. You need to become a top 1% coach, so that when you build a team, you are able to get to your team is also able to get to that level and provide that level of service. If you are an average coach, your team would do an average job. If you are a legendary coach, your team would do a legendary job. Having some such examples, I have example of number one, Abhinav. Literally, when we started out, he was doing just one-on-one coaching. Great guy, great potential, wanted to provide a great service, but he was spending all the times in one-on-ones. We slowly moved him to online, then all online. Now building a team, getting him to the next level. I don't think hitting the big number, 7 figures, would be a task for us now. Very soon, I think next couple of months. Next is Hardeep, lives in Canada. Great guy, coaches Indians who live in Canada. Great on TikTok. We started out at 1.5 lakh rupees. Last I had a conversation with him. We were at 6 lakh rupees, 6.5 lakh rupees, 7 lakh rupees per month. And that's what. Next is Vinay. Great guy, great level, great coaching, great team. His bottleneck was essentially working on wanting to work on the wrong things and then getting confused. And we are working on that specifically. He got his first car. And last but not the least, the 23-year-old Ritesh. Ritesh, we started out at 13,000 rupees. And last I checked, he was making 7 lakh rupees per month on an average. And again, we started with building his team. We got VAs and stuff like that. Same for Dr. Bilal. We started out at 80,000 bucks. Last I checked, we were at 5-6 lakh rupees. Started building a team, got a VA, and getting to the next level. And that's what. So talking about mission, if you are at the scale level, most people are not at the scale level, but again, for future, I'm creating this for your future also. Number one thing, get your life and relationship sorted. Don't move ahead till the time you have sorted these things out. Else you would be a rich but a miserable person who is frustrated because of what they do, their life, because you haven't worked on your mindset, your inhibitions, your self-image, your anxiety, your relationships. Work on these things, and all of this starts with working on your own health. It's funny that I have to tell these things to coaches, but day in and day out, I see a lot of coaches become businessmen, but forgetting that they are coaches. So, start with working on your health, nutrition, workout, because if your mental health is fucked up, you can't service clients. And even if you try, your service would go down the drains. You won't be consistent and you won't ever understand, because you'll be like, I always wanted to make more money. That is happening, but why am I not happy? Work on your life, start with meditation right away. A lot of times I tell TeamFBA members, all you need to do is work on your mental health right now. Right? Next is move to leverage coaching model. You need to make your coaching process very leveraged. Right? Like I discussed what I used to do. I actually, in the top packages also, I removed all the calling, but was using calling just for over delivery. And clients were always happy because my communication had become effective. So move to leverage coaching model where you are being efficient with yourself and your clients while getting them great results, while keeping them happy. Leverage करने का coaching model का मतलब ये नहीं कि आप बेकार service provide करनी start कर दो. So a lot of times what we do is we build onboarding sequences, onboarding process, onboarding videos, trainings and stuff like that. We have trainings for all of these things. But again, we use them at scale level. In beginning, we work on level 1 of service, then level 2, level 3, depending on the service. Now you need proper standard operating procedures which are written in pages, in documents and files. Right? If you don't have proper SOPs, you won't be able to delegate effectively. Right? So, writing is one important part of that. Next is understanding human nature and team building, right? Where people go wrong with team building is, number one, they do it at the wrong time. They are not themselves clear what they want to get done from the team. And if the head is not clear, if the head's life is fucked up, if the head does not understand what to do, and the team would be confused, right? You need maximum clarity, and it starts with you fixing your life first, right? Then you having proper SOPs, you having a strategy as to what to delegate first, right? If you are that coach who's delegating coaching as number one, you are at a big, it's a big fuck up. So always start with shadowing and slowly move away from coaching while remaining in it, right? Right now, in all packages in trained by IVS also, I'm literally tracking all of my clients. We use something called the TLS system, which takes me 20 to 30 minutes every week, where I'm able to track each and every client and solve problems for all clients who have an issue right now. Next is find value of your time and delegate accordingly. You need to थोड़ी maths करनी पड़ेगी. अब just see how many hours you are working in the month, then see how much money are you making in the month. Just divide that so that you understand that what is the value of your time. Now whenever you are doing some task, miscellaneous task in the business, ask yourself, is it higher than the value of my task or lower, right? If it is lower, you delegate it. It's as simple as that, right? Learn what to delegate first. Some communications can be delegated, not the client communications. And last thing which I would essentially delegate would be coaching, right? Not the first thing, because, and I would use the strategy where a coach starts as an assistant coach. They shadow me for months or weeks. We did that for months in trained by IVS, but in faster, if you want to be faster, they shadow them for, so basically they shadow you for few weeks, you shadow them for few weeks, then you delegate one part of the coaching step by step. Another thing which can be delegated is communications over social media, and that works like crazy. But again, for that you need clarity on that, because if you don't have clarity, your team wouldn't, and your team would do suboptimal tasks. The thing is, in the end, you should have proper SOPs written, and what your intent should be clear. A lot of times when people start making money, they're like, okay, I need a team because that looks cooler. If that looks cooler, that's going to fuck things up for you, right? Understand that. And then another thing which happens is, a lot of times we use wrong strategies for hiring. SOPs are not clear, then we get a bad experience, then हम पूरी जिंदगी डर जाते हैं इस चीज से, then पूरी जिंदगी we don't build a team. Reason for that? Because we are scared of bad experiences. For that, you need to understand human nature. You need to understand how to build a team long term, how to make them win long term. One hint for you is, your team would only stick with you long term if you have a long term vision for them, for their income also. I have a big team now, 12 people. Now the thing is, the word big is a little subjective. According to me, it's big, so it's like handling 12 people. So with everybody, I have a quarterly meeting. I recently started that last week. With everyone, I have a quarterly meeting. We set goals for them, their income goals and everything. And I like working accordingly in relation to that. It's like, yes, your team's job is to make your life easier, but your job is to make their life better. So keep that in mind, and that would change the game when it comes to team building. Next is, have a very open and growth oriented mindset, because a lot of things would change at this level. From coaching clients, you'll be moving to coaching team. You need to set up systems. You need to have an mindedness when it comes to investment, because a lot of softwares we use. If you ask me how much money we spend on softwares per month right now across both companies, it's over 1.5 lakh rupees. And right now, most of the things are not even automated, right? One example would be, we like using Kajabi. That's $500, $400 actually, $400, right? ClickFunnels is $300, $400. That's like 70,000-80,000 rupees ki to maine वैसी बता दी. Email marketing, $200-300, right? So in the end, these things start adding up. But if you have a wide vision, I don't think about me spending 1 lakh on the softwares. I think about how much money am I getting back by using those softwares. So having this level of mindset and surrounding yourselves with people who have a mindset like this, who have gone through the similar stage, and who help you, who tell you when you're fucking up when it comes to your mindset and your actions, can help a lot. And guys, this is it. As always, My inbox is always open for your questions. Ask away, and you can always DM us. And that's what. And hope you like the podcast. Let us know what content topics you want. If you have questions in relation to any stage, happy to help you. Let me know. And it's been 1 hour 11 minutes of me talking, and that's what. Hope this gives you a lot of value. And see you soon. And thank you. And keep on watching Better Coach, Better Business. Keep on following. The notes for this podcast episode are available on our Fitness Business Accelerator page. Check it out. Take screenshots, print that, and hope this helps. And see you soon. Thank you and bye. Also, do not forget we have a lot of free resources. Check out the pinned post on About Us, and that should help. Thank you and bye.